LEGO's line of Transformers continues with a new edition of Bumblebee in a similar design to the Generation 1 cartoon, which aired from 1984 till 1987. As a massive Transformers fan who grew up watching the Michael Bay films and the 1986 G1 movie, I couldn't wait to get another LEGO Transformer to go alongside Optimus Prime, who released back in June 2022. There was almost no other better choice for the next set, as this loyal duo is featured in just about every form of Transformers content through the decades. But before breaking down this set's pros and cons, let's talk about its stats. This set was designed by Samuel Johnson, who has previously created the Table Football and Home Alone house sets. This set features 10 plastic bags with 950 pieces, 5 stickers, and 5 printed pieces. Bumblebee comes in at 25 centimeters high, 11 centimeters deep, and 22 centimeters wide. Or in his vehicle mode, he runs in with 9 centimeters high, 11 centimeters wide, and 23 centimeters deep. I gotta say, I love this set a lot more than I expected, because when I first saw the photos, I thought it was hideous. The legs just look way too skinny, especially next to the massive feet and torso, and overall just looked really clumpy. Seeing it in person though, I've done a complete 180. Everything just looks so much better in person. He only looks like he has skipped leg day directly from the front, but when viewed from an angle, you start to get a bit more depth. Same situation with the feet. As long as they're viewed from an angle, they don't look like ridiculous oversized boots. Above the waist though, is where this set really starts to shine, with his arms and head being just incredible. I love the way his arms came together. I just can't explain why. I just think they look really cool with the bulk above his shoulders. His head is done shockingly well, while still being accurate to his G1 counterpart. The axe pieces used to create his iconic horns is fantastic, along with the printing on his face, which uses the same piece as Prime's mask, allowing you to create some pretty funny monstrosities. The shaping of his head is simply just phenomenal, and I love how it is achieved. His forearms and hands are kept simple, but have a surprising amount of articulation. His fingers use the same pieces that have been utilized in the superhero buildable figures. His chest is almost the exact same as the G1 cartoon, with the body and roof of the car being used to help build up his chest. It would also be worth noting that he kind of looks like he's wearing overalls or straps to hold up his chest, especially since the back and front of the torso are connected through these pieces here, and almost feel as though you can take it off. The feet have rubber tie pieces used for grip on the underside to prevent any slipping or falling as well, and are most effectively used when the legs are kept straight. My love for this set continues into Bumblebee's car mode, which uses the iconic Beetle design rather than his modern sports car interpretations, to stay in line with that G1 style. If LEGO were to ever do another Bumblebee set far in the future, I would love to see them utilize his sports car form, using the black racing stripes made popular by the Bay films. This car is surprisingly well rounded and smoothed off, since it does have to come apart to form something completely different. Brand new pieces were made to create the rounded fender for this set. The way majority of the moving parts are flush and smooth together is just incredible and needs to be appreciated. It's also worth noting that the doors can technically be opened, just without the top half. Another aspect of this set that needs to be appreciated is the strength compared to Optimus Prime, who would frequently break apart, especially at the waist, when I would try to do anything with him. Bumblebee, on the other hand, is way more sturdy, with fewer pieces coming off. The windows are trans blue, further adding to the accuracy of the 80s cartoon, of which you will notice some Easter eggs to on the bumper, where you will find 2 bumper stickers. The sticker on the left saying "I love Cybertron" the Transformers home planet, and the one on the right saying rollout, a line said incredibly often throughout the franchise, usually by Optimus Prime. This set also comes with 2 license plates to choose from. They both feature the release date of the 80s show in the bottom right corner. The second number plate is a reference to Bumblebee's redesign as Goldbug in episode 95 after he was brought back to life. There are also 2 printed pieces with Bumblebees in the build, one on the inside of the windshield and the other behind the display plaque. On the front side of the plaque, you'll notice that it features a quote from B, as well as lists his functions for the Autobots as a scout and his overall stats. If you were to compare these stats to Prime's, you'll notice that he is significantly weaker than Prime, with his strength as a 2 compared to Prime's 10, and his speed listed as a 4 compared to 8, which shocked me the most, because you would think that Bumblebee would be able to move a lot faster than that, at least be somewhere near Prime speed. But oh well. This set also comes with 2 printed Autobot emblem pieces. One is used on the center of the chest for robot mode, and the other on the left foot for the vehicle mode. If you didn't want either on, 2 2x2 tiles are provided to replace the printed pieces. One of the biggest differences between this set and the Optimus Prime set is the number of accessories. Prime came with a total of 5 accessories: a blaster, energon axe, energon cube, a jetpack, and the Matrix of Leadership. Bumblebee, however, only comes with a blaster and technically a jetpack as well, made from the front windshield that is required to be taken off to transform him. Since it's not really that obvious that it is a jetpack and only further adds to the backpack on him, I'll be keeping it off, although it is a nice addition to have for those that might like it. Speaking of the backpack, I'm not too surprised that it is there, as it has been a common occurrence with plenty of Transformer toys throughout the years. The lack of printing on the wheels is also a bit disappointing, given that Prime had it, but isn't very noticeable, nor the worst thing about this set. That would be the doors. The doors on the vehicle mode, I think this set's ugliest feature, with lots of knobs, gaps, and grey pieces poking through that break the overall smooth design. It would also be worth noting that he isn't to scale with Optimus, in both robot and vehicle mode. But if Bumblebee were to be any smaller to fit to that scale, this set wouldn't be anywhere near as good. So I think it's a justifiable compromise. In vehicle mode, the boot isn't stuck down by anything, and has been incredibly irritating whilst making this video. The lack of leg articulation is also disappointing, given that it was another one of my biggest cons with the Prime set. The lack of any knees limits any posing and play, and I just hope that LEGO will be able to improve upon this in the next Transformers set, of which I am almost certain will be Megatron, as we really need some Decepticons to go against our Autobots. The only issue with LEGO creating a Generation 1 Megatron set is that he transforms into a gun in the original cartoon, going against LEGO's soft, no gun rule. Heavy emphasis on soft. As many people have suggested, the most likely option for Megatron's transformation is a tape, as it is his other most common transformation, and allows him to keep his massive blaster attached to his arm. LEGO also isn't a stranger to having sci-fi tanks in their sets, as shown by their Star Wars line. Another Transformer I would love to see would have to be Starscream, as his G1 design would translate so incredibly well to LEGO with those bright colours. Other characters could be Soundwave with his Minicons, which would be amazing to have, as well as one of my favourite Transformers, Hot Rod, which would just be fantastic. If I had to provide a ridiculous and out of this world suggestion for a future set, it would have to be Unicron, the planet destroyer of the Transformers universe. He obviously wouldn't be to the same scale as the others, but would be phenomenal if he was of similar size as the Death Star playsets. There would be little to no chance of this happening, and the LEGO Transformers would have to be selling incredibly well to ever happen. But hey, a guy can dream. This set features 950 pieces and will cost you $149.99 in Australia, $89.99 in the US, and in Canada, $119.99. This comes out to roughly 16 cents per piece for Australia, 10 cents per piece in the US, and in Canada, you'll find it to be around 13 cents per piece. This means that Bumblebee has a significantly better value compared to the Optimus Prime set, which comes in at 19 cents per piece in Australia. When it comes to weight, Bumblebee weighs in at 630 grams, or 22.2 ounces, which equals 24 cents per gram in Australia, 4.1 cents per ounce in America, and 19 cents per gram in Canada. Bumblebee still maintains his better value as Prime weighs 1,053 grams, costing 27 cents per gram in Australia. For playability, I will give Bumblebee a 4 because it is still plenty of fun to transform and pose him. For strength, I will give this set a 3.5, as he is significantly stronger than Optimus. But don't be surprised if some pieces still manage to fall off if you're not too careful. For construction enjoyability, I will give it a 4, due to how much fun it was to see Bumblebee come together and figure out how he will be transformed. For difficulty, I will give it a 2. There aren't any difficult techniques, and I can easily imagine my 12-year-old self building this with little to no complications and having even more fun. For detail, I will give this set a 3.5, as all of the sloping and rounded corners are pulled off insanely well for something that is designed to come apart and transform into something else, and has a couple of Easter eggs to be found, which is always appreciated. Now, for the beginners, I will give this set a B+, for the hobbyists, an A, and for the master builders, a B-.